A Division III college athlete just ran 9.89 seconds in the 100 meters. No scholarship, no D1 program, no elite facility. Just a kid from Wisconsin who every big school looked at and said no thanks. And he just became the fastest man in the world in 2026. When Noah Lyles heard about this, he said something that tells you everything about where sprinting is right now. We will get to that. But first, you need to understand just how impossible this story actually is. Because 9.89 seconds matches Noah Lyles for third place at the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. Not third in his age group, not third in college, third in the world, against every professional sprinter on the planet. And Sam Blaskowski did it without a single dollar of scholarship money. Oshkosh, Wisconsin, not a place you associate with world-class sprinting, not a place with a history of producing athletes who compete at the highest level. Just a regular Midwestern town where kids play football and baseball and soccer, and most of them never think about running in a straight line for a living. Sam Blaskowski grew up there. He played flag football, basketball, indoor soccer, and swam competitively. In high school, he played baseball in the fall, and when he got cut from the basketball team, he started running track. Just like that. No plan, no destiny. Just a kid who needed something to do in the winter. And then something strange started happening. He was fast, really fast. He ran 10.83 seconds in the 100 meters and 21.99 in the 200 as a senior. He won Wisconsin state championships in both. He added the long jump title too, 3 state titles in his senior year. Good enough to get noticed by D1 coaches, right? Surely someone was calling. The only coach who called was Nicholas Gordon, the long jump coach at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, a Division III school, the school where both of Blaskowski's parents went. The school 1 mile from where his grandparents live. Every D1 program in America kept scrolling. Think about that. 3 state titles, and the only offer on the table was a D3 school where athletes do not even get scholarship money. Not a reduced scholarship, not a partial offer, $0. The message from the college athletics system was clear. You are not good enough for us. Wisconsin-La Crosse. Division III, the level where no one watches, the level where times do not matter to the Diamond League, the level where even winning nationals means almost nothing to the wider world. Blaskowski arrives and immediately starts breaking records. His freshman year, he wins the national D3 title in the 100 meters. Then he wins it again, and again, and again. 4 consecutive national titles in the 100 meters. 3 in the 60 meters, 3 more in the 200. By the time he graduates, he has 11 individual D3 national titles to his name. One of the greatest D3 sprint careers in American history, and nobody outside of Division III cares. Because here is the brutal reality. Winning D3 nationals in the 100 meters means you ran somewhere around 10.2 to 10.4 seconds. That is genuinely fast. But it is not even close to the times the men who make world championship finals are running. The gap between D3 nationals and the Olympic trials is enormous. The gap between D3 nationals and the world championships is a completely different planet. The question nobody can answer is whether Blaskowski is actually elite or just the fastest, slow guy. Is he a world-class talent that the system failed, or just the best of a bad bunch who will hit his ceiling the moment real competition shows up? Nobody knows yet. Then he goes to the 2024 Olympic trials and competes against the best 100-meter sprinters in America. He holds his own. He does not make the team, but he belongs on that track. For the first time, the athletics world outside Wisconsin starts paying attention, but then comes the part of the story that almost nobody knows. The part that explains everything about who Sam Blaskowski actually is. After finishing his college career with 11 national titles, Blaskowski faces a decision. He wants to go pro. He wants to find out if he is actually world-class. He wants to train with the best coaches and find out once and for all whether the system was wrong about him. To do that, he needs to move to Florida to train with Star Athletics under Dennis Mitchell, one of the most respected sprint coaches in America, the man who coached Sha'Carri Richardson to the 2023 world title, who works with Kenny Bednarik, who has built careers out of raw talent. Mitchell's group is in Florida. Blaskowski is in Wisconsin. He has no money, no sponsor, no professional contract. So he gets a job at a small regional airport, works through the off-season, saves every dollar, then packs everything up and moves to Florida to chase a dream that everyone except him seems to think is crazy. A kid who spent 4 years winning D3 titles that the world ignored is now working an airport job to fund his shot at the world stage. That detail right there is the whole story. He gets to Florida, he trains with Mitchell, he trains alongside Sha'Carri Richardson and Kenny Bednarik, the fourth-place finisher at the 2025 World Championships, professional athletes who have competed at the Olympics and the World Championships. And something starts to happen in practice that Mitchell notices immediately. This kid belongs here. His personal best going into the 2026 season is 10.05 seconds, fast, but not world-class. He races 5 times early in the season, including 3 at altitude. Does not break 10, does not finish higher than 3rd in any race. The doubters start lining up. Maybe he really is just a D3 kid. Maybe the Olympic trials appearance was the ceiling. Maybe working an airport job to move to Florida was the bravest, stupid thing anyone in American sprinting has ever done. And then May 30th, 2026 happens. Now, before I tell you the time, think about Noah Lyles for a second. Because Lyles has spent years telling anyone who would listen that this sport needs more people. That track needs to reach new fans, new communities, new faces, that the athletes who grind in the dark and never get the spotlight are the backbone of the whole thing. He has said it in interviews. He has said it on social media. The sport is for everyone. Speed does not care where you went to school. Speed does not check your scholarship status before it decides who gets to be elite. And then a kid with 0 scholarship dollars from Wisconsin runs the exact same time Lyles himself ran for bronze at the World Championships. You know what Lyles would say if he saw that number? He would say, this is exactly what he has been talking about. This is exactly why he fights for this sport to be seen. Because Sam Blaskowski is the proof that talent does not live only in D1 programs and Nike contracts and Olympic pipelines. Sometimes it lives in a kid working a shift at a regional airport in Wisconsin, saving every dollar, betting everything on himself. Drop it in the comments right now. Did you think a D3 kid who worked an airport job could become one of the fastest men on the planet? I need to know if anyone saw this coming. May 30th, 2026, Cleveland, Tennessee, Music City Track Carnival. Sam Blaskowski lines up in the 100 meters. He runs 9.89 seconds, 9.89. His first ever legal sub, 1-0 second run. He skipped the 9.90s entirely. Went from 10.05 straight to 9.89 in a single race. Fastest American in 2026, tied for second fastest in the entire world this season. Now let me put that number in full context, because it needs to completely land. At the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, the best 100-meter final in years, Oblique Seville won gold in 9.77. Keishane Thompson took silver in 9.82. And Noah Lyles, 8-time world champion, Olympic gold medalist, the most dominant sprinter of his generation, ran 9.89 for the bronze medal. That is the exact same time Sam Blaskowski just ran in Tennessee. The same 9.89 that put Lyles on the podium at the World Championships. If Blaskowski had been in that final, he finishes 3rd at the World Championships. A kid with 0 scholarship dollars, 11 D3 national titles nobody outside Wisconsin watched, an airport job to fund his move to Florida, 3rd at the World Championships. He went from 10.05 to 9.89 in a single race. Dennis Mitchell was not surprised. He said this is what training showed, that Blaskowski was capable of this, and it was only a matter of time before it happened. And there is one more thing about this run that the mainstream athletics world has been dancing around, but needs to be said directly. 9.89 seconds makes Sam Blaskowski the fastest white sprinter in the history of the sport, ever. In 60-plus years of professional sprinting, nobody who looks like him has ever run faster. That is not a small fact. That is a historic fact that puts this performance in a completely different category of achievement.
9.89. Say it one more time. The D3 kid from Wisconsin who worked an airport job just ran 9.89 seconds. After the race, Blaskowski posted one sentence on Instagram. Breaking 10 was not just the goal, it became an obsession. Years of sacrifice, hard work, discipline, and belief all came together on the track. Not a speech, not a list of people he proved wrong, just a man who knew exactly what it cost to get there and wanted everyone else to understand it too. Years of sacrifice. Think about what that actually means for him. 4 years of D3 nationals that the world ignored. Working an airport job so he could afford to chase his dream. living in Florida, away from his family, away from his grandparents who are 1 mile from the lacrosse campus, away from everything comfortable and familiar. All of that for one number, 9.89. And the people who passed on him, the D1 coaches who kept scrolling past his high school times, the programs that never picked up the phone, they are watching that number right now. Los Angeles 2028 is 2 years away. Blaskowski will be 25, prime years. Home Olympics on American soil. The 100-meter final in a country that loves an underdog more than any other on earth. The kid nobody wanted is now one of the 2 fastest men in the world. So, here is what I need you to tell me in the comments. Los Angeles 2028. Sam Blaskowski makes the American team, lines up in the Olympic 100-meter final on home soil in front of 80,000 people who know his story. Does he medal? Does he prove once and for all that the D1 programs that ignored him made the worst recruiting decision in the history of American sprinting? Drop it below. Every single comment gets read.